not ready.
Greetings, friends! Right now we are harvesting persimmons. We have a number of persimmon trees around our homestead, and we actually haven't really taken advantage of the harvest over the past few years, but this year we're trying to do something different and actually take advantage and harvest the persimmons. So Lacey's up the ladder right now, picking a few of the persimmons off.
Oops, I want one.
So Lacie, how do you harvest the persimmons?
Well, you normally don't harvest persimmons by picking them off the tree. Because if they're not squishy enough, then they have this really astringent, it's not a flavor, but when you eat it, let's say your mouth puckers up really bad. So usually it's after the first frost, and we've had a frost, but it just sweetens everything up and that astringency goes away. See, this one right here, it still feels kind of firm, and that one's not. That one's, you want them mushy, so they really don't transport well. That's why you don't buy North American persimmons in the store, is because you need to pick them like this, and normally they just fall off the tree and you get them. So as you can tell, that's not gonna travel really well. So, but some of these, they just haven't fallen, but they're still okay to get. And I'm gonna get ready to shake the tree here in a minute, and everybody's gonna watch where they drop and then pick them up.
And one of the things that I compare that puckering to is like, it's almost like a cottonmouth. If you've ever been like really dehydrated and you've had the cottonmouth, when you eat one of those persimmons that aren't quite where they should be, it kind of gives you that feeling in your mouth. And it's not really pleasant. Have you ever had one, Salem? Has it done it to your mouth? Did you like it? All right, so are we getting ready to shake the tree and see what falls?
I'm gonna shake this limb and see what falls off.
All right. Watch out for persimmon bombs.
But nothing's coming off.
All right. Oh, one came off. Can you get that, Josiah?
And another one. It's okay. Just put it over there.
There was another one on the other side of the fence.
Lacie mentioned that these are American persimmons. Most people, when they think of persimmons, they think of the Japanese ones, which are a lot bigger, that they will sell in some stores. But these are actually a wild American persimmon. And believe it or not, the Native American Indians used to use these persimmons as well. They used them for a number of different things. And they even used the leaves from the trees to make like a spicy tea, and even the bark to make medicine and syrups. So, and they also ate the fruit, but I'm pretty sure that they were really familiar of how and when to eat the fruit. All right, you shaking another branch?
Yeah, I'm gonna try for this.
All right, guys, get ready. She's gonna drop. She's gonna shake, and some will drop.
Persimmon bomb!
Persimmon bomb.
One landed on the tray.
One landed right on the tray.
Oh, really?
Yes. Persimmon bomb!
I'm coming
tomato.
See what falls.
Oh, there's 3 more right here.
You getting the Micah?
Oh, one right at your foot, Micah. Look at your right foot. No, whoa, other foot, other foot. You're gonna step on it. No, right there.
There you go. You got it.
Take it again.
There's another one right there.
There's 2 right here about to fall.
Oh, there's one right here. Can you get it? There we go. Got it?
There's 4 about to fall.
You got a couple of them, don't you? Let's see what you got.
Shake it again.
Oh, man.
Shake it again, Mama.
Everybody watch.
Hold on, let him put it on the tray. And with her shaking, she's just basically shaking some of the fruit that may be close to ready to fall, but haven't quite fallen off the tree yet. And we're gonna harvest them and use them today. Oh, there's one, there's one. You got it? I'll get this one, I'll get it. There we go. Woohoo! Oh, couple bombs, persimmon bombs. I don't need a hard hat for this job, do I?
I guess. Well, it would be squished on your head. It would go. You have to wash out your hair.
So here's the difference between one that's not ready and one that is ready. Oh, my Band-Aid is kind of in the way. So when you open it up, it's still pretty fleshy inside and firm. But whenever you open up one, see how it's just kind of gooey? That's what you're looking for.
Looking for the gooey goodness.
The gooey goodness. And you just take it and eat it. Actually, I would just take them.
What? Yes.
And then you just spit out the seeds.
Why don't you eat one of those ones that'll make you pucker up?
No, that's okay. Because at this point, if you've done it once or twice, you definitely know what it does to you. It feels like the whole inside of your mouth is drawing up, and then it's like bitter too. Totally not what a persimmon is supposed to do whenever it's ripe.
Come on, Sailor, will you try it? I want to see you try it.
Nope. I'm fine.
It's really neat to see that the branches are starting to branch out this way. This area all over here was overgrown with so many trees, and we cleared it out about 1.5 years or so ago. But now these trees are able to develop and branch out more, so I'm really happy to see this progress starting to happen so the tree can be a fuller tree. But since we moved those trees out and dropped them, these fruit trees here have been producing a lot more. Also, one of the other things that I see is that the trees, they used to be leaning a lot more over, trying to compete for the light from the trees that were over here, and now they're standing more and more upright. Well guys, I'm gonna shake the tree. I'm gonna give it a shake. See if I can shake it up. You ready? Alrighty. Hulk shake. Some fall down?
Yeah. Oh, Buzz. Whoa, this is a biggie.
You got a biggie over there?
Yeah, my squishy do. Thank you.
Now, you may be wondering why we use a tray to harvest these. Well, as you can tell, they're pretty mushy, and so if you put them in a basket on top of one another, it's just gonna smush everything. So you really want something flat, a box, cardboard box, a tray, to put them on whenever you harvest them.
All right, who's ready for me to shake again?
Me.
All right, let's see if I can shake this one at all.
Shake. It's Josiah.
You hit it?
Yeah, it was a chest. My finger. Shake.
It hit me. Just stand in one spot and look around.
And this is another opportunity to get some exercise in. As you're picking them up, but also get some squats in there too. Work those legs and harvest the fruit at the same time. It is a little challenging sometimes trying to find the persimmons with the leaves that are in here as well. They kind of blend right in. We have been using a tarp over here to easily gather the persimmons. I think I'm going to bring over another tarp and maybe we can just shake the persimmons onto the tarp. They'll be much easier to find.
Well, you know what they say. There are no kingdoms without rulers. Are you ready for change? We could be kings and queens every day. On the low, we are brave. Yes, even braver than the bravest. So let's go.
Bob the way!
We should be kings and queens every day. You've been trying to find your crown. Happy camper through the ups and downs. Keeping calm, winning ground. Let's build castles now.
We do have this one duck. You'll see him walking around and you can see pieces of persimmon hanging out of his mouth. He actually eats persimmons.
We got a duck that's a persimmon eater. Most of the time the chickens and the ducks, I don't usually see them eating these. But I guess that one duck likes it. It's one of the boys, you say?
Yep.
Oh man, gotta watch that guy. Alrighty, so look at all those persimmons. You ladies think that's enough?
I think so, because I don't think any more is coming off right now.
Alright, so we're gonna be able to put these to use. I don't know all the different ways that you can eat persimmons outside of just eating them straight when they're fresh. But one way that my mother-in-law does that I really like is persimmon pudding. It's absolutely fantastic.
I grew up eating persimmon pudding. My grandmother always made it, and we always ate it.
You like it, Sailor?
Yeah, it's delicious. I haven't had it in years.
You know how many years? Because you're not that old, are you? And speaking of my mother-in-law, here she is to show us how to process these persimmons.
Okay, these are the persimmons that don't ripen until after the frost. And you can pick them off the tree or you can pick them up off the ground. And what I do to start processing them after they're all picked up is I dip them in the water just to wash the dust or whatever off, and I pull the cap off and I pull the little black end off, just because, you know, just more for visual than anything else, and then put them in a bowl. And so we're going to do a lot of those, and then we will show you how to get the juice, the pulp out of them.
And as you're doing that, you're just getting any debris and dirt that may be on them.
Just swishing them in here and just sort of looking at them to see if there's any trash on them, anything like that, especially if you picked them up off the ground, because sometimes a stick or something will sort of stab into them.
You're taking all this in, Sailor, so you can be able to do it all by yourself? All right, put it on you.
Oh, you want me to get a little bowl and put some water in it so I can do it?
Sure. There you go. And there, you want to dump that water out. And Lacie,
Alrighty, so this is what we have left over?
Yep.
All the
Pretty tops.
caps and stems and trash.
And these are all the clean ones. So what do we do next now that you have those cleaned off?
Well, since these are really dry, they're not real juicy like some that get ripe in September and fall on the ground. They're usually really juicy and a little bit bigger and golden looking. So what we're going to do now is add some water to this and mash them up with the potato masher, and then we will run them through a colander, and then we'll have our pulp in the bowl.
All right. Still taking notes, right? Still keeping up.
Okay, Sailor, pour that water in there. Okay, let's let that be enough for right now. Now, mash them with the masher. Mash them up really good, and then that water will sort of help get the juice going.
Sounds kind of gross.
But it's going to taste real yummy though, right?
Yeah.
Color looks yummy to me.
The consistency is weird. See all those seeds.
So you want to get the consistency so it goes through the colander pretty easily, right?
Yes,
Okay.
it's got to mash it through the colander, come through these little holes into the bowl, and that will be our finished product.
So that way you separate the seeds and have the end product of what you want.
And most of the peel will stay in the colander too.
Okay.
All right, you ready?
I think so.
Okay. So we're just going to do this. I'm gonna dip it from here and put it into the colander. And this was my mom's colander, so it has seen a lot of persimmons and tomatoes and anything else we needed mashed through something. One of my favorite things to use because I always think about her. Now see how it's coming down in there, Mike? See how the juice goes in? You just run it around and around. And the seeds in the persimmon are pretty big, so that's another reason you have to be real intentional about mashing it. because the seeds will keep your maul away from the edge of from the sides of the colander. So you just run it around and around. So you can already tell, see all the seeds on the side, so the pulp's going through.
Now, is your mom who you learned this from?
Yes, I sure did. We had a persimmon tree on our property, and it was the early persimmons that get ripe in September. So after the kids got on the school bus, I'd go up to the persimmon tree and pick up persimmons and take them in, and Mother and I would process them. We'd do them just like this, rinse them off, and usually we didn't put water on them because they were already so juicy. The earlier ones, for some reason, just seem a lot juicier than these. I think we've probably gotten all the good off of these, and we'll just empty this over here in the bowl. See, it's still pretty juicy, but as large as the seeds are, it's hard to mash it right up against the side of the colander. So some people will even take these, and I mean everything's still clean, and we just knock them off in a bowl. And some people will even add a little more water and stir these up and run them through again.
Just to maximize the fruit.
Yes.
Ooh, looks yummy there.
So then we just rake all this off of the sides. You don't want to leave any of this goodness. It's too hard working for them to lose it.
Yummy.
Now, do you have any particular use for the seeds after this point?
No.
No, okay.
The only thing is to crack them in half and look inside and see if you've got a spoon or a fork or a knife. And that's an old wives' tale. It tells you how the winters are going to be. If it's a spoon, it's supposed to be more of a shovel and you're shoveling snow. And if it's a knife, you're going to be cutting through things like the wind. And I can't remember what the fork is.
I personally think we're going to have a colder winter, but that's just my opinion. We'll have to see if the persimmon seeds say the same thing.
Poppy did open two a few weeks ago, and they both had spoons in them.
Oh, man. You're going to be shoveling.
That look about good, Deanie?
I've heard a story, I've heard it said, I've come to believe that
You want to mash it really hard.
sometimes you win and sometimes you lose, and sometimes it calls you right in the mood. Come to my table, come to my bed, go easy my hunger, easy my head, bringing me fire, bringing me water, taking me high.
Did you try the juice?
Yes, I
already?
did. It tastes a little astringent, but a lot of times even ripe persimmons will taste like that. So when you use them in something like a persimmon pudding, that's the soda that you put in it helps to negate that. And usually after they're baked, you don't really taste that. But now if you get one that's green that you pull off the tree before it's been frosted on and you try to eat it, it will pucker your mouth up and turn it wrong side out, won't it, Selah?
Yes, I've had that happen to me several times.
I still want to see that happen to you on camera.
Okay. All right, sis, put you some more in there.
Bringing me fire, bringing me water, taking me
That's
high,
really pretty juice, though.
taking me down.
That enough?
Let's just take Well.
Come to my table, come to my bed, go easy my hunger, easy my head. Oh, bringing me fire, bringing me water, taking me high, taking me down. Whoa.
It actually makes a little bit more than I thought that it was going to make from just the fruit that we have there.
And see, it's still nice and thick, even though we put water, and a good consistency to use.
Alright, so I know I said earlier that I've never seen one of our chickens eat a persimmon before. Well, that doesn't mean that they don't eat it, it's just I've never seen it. Well, right here we have some of the seeds and the skins that are left over that from when they were processing them. Let's just take it over and see if the chickens will eat it. Let's just see, so that way I can really see firsthand if chickens have anything to do with persimmons. Yeah. Oh yeah, they're eating. They're going to town.
You don't have just a one dip measure, do you?
Yeah, have a bite?
Sure.
I think it's pretty good. Yeah.
Persimmons are supposed to be some of the sweetest fruit, have the most natural sugars in them of any fruit. So what we're going to do now is just put 1 cup in a bag, and we can freeze it, because most recipes will call for 1 cup or 2 cups. So if you just go ahead and put it in 1 cup bags, then it works out really easy to do that. So to make it easy, if you're working by yourself, especially if you find a jar or something tall like that, and then you can just fold your bag over it and let it stand there, and then all you have to do is dump it in. And a jar filler is really good to use too. It helps keep you from making such a mess. And then after you get it all in there, then you can just pull your bag up like that. Now that would probably hold 2 cups, so you could do some 2-cup ones, and then just zip it and get as much air out as you can and zip it on shut. And then if you freeze them flat on a tray, they're a lot easier to store in your freezer, and they really thaw much quicker if they're flat like that instead of in a big glob on the bottom.
I'm gonna do all of them like that.
And then we're just going to do it again. We're going to take our bag and put it down in the jar, fold it over a little bit, and then put the jar filler in. Then we can put 1 cup or 2 cups in at a time, whatever we choose. Selah did a really good job helping me with this. It's her first time.
Way to go, Selah. So what all can you use the persimmon puree? Is that what you call it?
I would call it puree, yes.
What all can you use it for?
Well, it really has a lot of versatility. You could use it in anything. You could make a pudding. That's what I usually do. I have a recipe that my mother used, and I make persimmon pudding. And I sort of make it my own because I tweak the recipe a little bit now and then. But you can make persimmon bread, and I think that's what I'm going to try. I'm going to take some of this and try and make some persimmon bread, because I really like the taste of persimmons.
You know what would probably be really good?
What?
I bet you could make a persimmon barbecue sauce.
Oh yeah.
And that would be really good.
That. I bet it would.
Or a persimmon wine. That sounds
Yes.
good too.
You can make and you can make
can do that
jelly
too.
out of it. In fact, I have some persimmon jelly at home that I bought from a lady that had all kind of persimmon products. It's just, just use your imagination. It's good for lots of things. And maybe you have a favorite recipe that has something with this consistency in it. Try it.
Yeah, and if any of you guys have a persimmon recipe of something you enjoyed, let us know. We'd love to hear about it in the comment section below.
And be sure to mark your bags with the name of whatever product you have in there and the date. Because I've frozen many things and I thought, oh, I don't know what that is. And I end up throwing it out because I couldn't figure out what it was.
Whoops.
Yeah, whoops. Good full cup.
All right, so Lacey's been over here working on cracking open a seed to see what it said on the inside. And what did it say?
I was diligently working on this because this ain't the easiest thing to do.
I see you got a number of tools here. You got a hammer, you got a screwdriver, you got some pliers here.
It doesn't even, this is only a few of the things that I had. Which these right here didn't even do anything. So Sayla tells me that I had a spoon, but I don't know what she's seeing in here.
So let's see it. What does it look like?
Nothing.
Kind of looks like a spoon. Let's see.
You don't even know what you're supposed to be looking for, and neither do I.
I saw like a little line there and then a little oval shape. So maybe a spoon, maybe nothing. We'll just have to see.
I think it's nothing.
Alrighty, so all done, ladies?
Yes, sir.
So, Martha, thank you so much for showing us how to do them.
You're very welcome. We had, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. We had 13 cups of persimmon out of that.
Wow. And now you know how to do it, right, Sayla? So we'll stick these in the freezer, and then when we're ready to use them, they should be good to go, right? Just defrost them and make whatever we make.
Exactly.
So you guys just have to stay tuned and see what we make. But I also want to show you here, we have an Asian persimmon and one of our wild American persimmon. So you can see the difference in the size. So there is a little bit of a difference.